Okay, guys, so a bit of a different video on here. I haven't talked G.I. Joe in a while, or it's been a long time, but as you guys know, I collect Joes here and there, and I'm a fan of it, and it's obviously interconnected with Transformers ever since the 80s. Hasbro owns both, and they're both basically in the same shared universe in a lot of the continuities that we've seen. So, with the G.I. Joe Classified line, it's been going strong for about 5 years now. They've made a lot of amazing improvements. They're really killing the market with the 6-inch action figure game. All the accessories, the articulation, everything. It's probably the best 6-inch action figure line out right now for domestic companies and regular retailers. A problem that I have with the fandom and just G.I. Joe as a whole, and the problem that I have with it being attached to Transformers more now than ever, is this whole theme of the older generation, the 80s and 90s crowd, or early 90s for G.I. Joe to be exact, and the whole stuck in their ways sort of thing. It's worse with G.I. Joe than it is with Transformers. Y'all know I'm no stranger to talking about this. I've made a few videos over the last year talking about how radical G1 fans really ruin the experience of the franchise and the fandom sometimes, and they really hold things back at times as well. And it seems like a lot of them just refuse to realize that for whatever reason. They'll critique and criticize everything else under the sun, but once you start mentioning the precious G1 fandom and how absolutely outlandish and insane they can be at times, you're a villain, you're a bad guy. But with G.I. Joe here, it's basically the same thing. Like, I was watching some YouTube videos on G.I. Joe Classified, and some of the comments, man, oh, why is Hasbro redesigning these characters? Just keep it from the 80s. Oh, we don't want to move on. And I'm just reading these comments like, what the hell is wrong with you guys? This is one of the reasons why G.I. Joe is so niche as it is now, 40-some years later. You guys had a chance back in the 2000s and the early 2010s with those two movies. Y'all didn't do anything with those because it wasn't 80s enough for you guys. Even though I do agree, like, some things didn't need to be changed, and, you know, they just weren't the greatest of movies anyway. Even though I think Retaliation wasn't too bad. And then you had the Snake Eyes movie, which again wasn't the greatest, but I don't think it was as bad as people were making it out to be. I think that movie should have done a bit better and gotten the ball rolling a little bit more for G.I. Joe, but no, I mean, Joe fans, they really blew it with that one as well. And now we're at this point where it's just a niche action figure line that collectors like to buy and boast about how amazing the accessory count and articulation is, which it is, but I want this franchise to do something a bit more because, I mean, these are some cool characters. Military, more than ever, is making a comeback and a rise in terms of popularity and overall interest, and whether for good or bad, it's just how things are right now. So you would think G.I. Joe would have more of a boost in overall engagement with the franchise and brand, but it's really come to the point where it's something along the lines of Voltron, He-Man. It's there, it's surviving, but it's not really something that's really making an imprint on pop culture like Transformers, Marvel, Star Wars, or DC. And I see they're trying to do that with the G.I. Joe crossover movie, the comics, but I feel like the fans, the hardcore fans, the original 80s people, it really does seem like they're not used to change on these characters. Now, I'm not saying change them to the point where they're unrecognizable, like what they've done with some of the characters in the past, like with the movies and stuff. But in terms of slight redesigns and changing little things here and there to update it to modern times, a lot of these G.I. Joe purists and 80s originals, they hate that. Like, they just want it to be strictly, purely from the 80s cartoon, and that's it. No changes at all, no slight costume redesigns or anything. And this is why the G.I. Joe line actually wasn't doing the greatest at first, because they were redesigning the characters to be a bit more technological, sci-fi looking. Now, I mean, Cobra's always been like that, so I really don't get the complaint for that back then, but they pivoted from doing more futuristic, updated, modern designs to something that's more classic and what we saw in the 80s cartoons. So I don't know why they I mean, I do know why they took it a problem. It's because they don't want change at all. But at the same time, it's like it's not like you couldn't tell it was Duke, you couldn't tell it was Flint or Scarlet or Lady J, Destro, Cobra Commander. You could tell right away those were the same characters, just with slight redesigns to their costumes. And for an era in time where we see this so often with Marvel, DC, Transformers, all these popular brands and properties, you would think it wouldn't be a problem at all with G.I. Joe as well. I don't know, it seems like this is what the fandom wants. They don't want anything else, no change at all, even if it's minor and something that could be cool and a bit better than what you saw 40 years ago. And this is why I think G.I. Joe will always be niche, because these hardcore G1 fans, or these they basically are G1 fans. These hardcore G.I. Joe fans just don't want to see anything different from the franchise or brand, which is insane to me. But yeah, guys, let me know down in the comments below, how do y'all feel about the current state of the G.I. Joe brand as a whole? All my social medias are linked down below, including my email if you guys want to hit me up about business inquiries, or if you want to message me about whatever, or if you want to commission a diorama from me, because I make dioramas for people for their stop motions, photography, or your regular display shelves in your homes. You can either hit me up on any of my social media accounts or just email me and we can work out a deal. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye!